And then I started doing the street team shit at Priority Records. And then it just worked out even more because at that time, motherfucking Duck Down just linked up with Priority Records. So that was just like, oh, okay. So now they share in the same office.
How did you end up working for Priority Records in the 90s?
Oh wow. See, that's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This ain't no fucking what the fuck I did with Diabolic. Fucking fuck Diabolic, man. Um,
Yo.
I'm sitting here responding to all these fucking Diabolic scenarios and shit, man. Um, I was in school, bro. Like that's simple too. Okay, I'll give you a New York, picture New York at the time. Like, we growing up in the era with the with the Source magazines and shit like that. Vibe Source. This is even before Double XL type shit. So like, I was always I was buying CDs and tapes since I was like 10, 11 years old. Since I was a kid, I was going to a record store when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Buying CDs and shit like that. Like I was always that dude. I always wanted all of the music. Like I was a fiend for this shit when I was a kid. Like from when I was young, and then being from New York, it helped too because we were pretty much ground zero. When all the shit was like really getting lit, and so I used to always like I was very studious when it came to the music. So I would buy the CDs and shit. I would open the shit. I would read everything. I would read the credits, who produced what, who mixed what, who mastered what, where it was recorded at. And one thing I used to notice, all the fucking record labels was in Manhattan. They all had 212 phone numbers. They was all on like 14th Street, 34th Street. I live in Bed-Stuy, like all that shit, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from me. You know what I'm saying? So it was simple. I realized the accessibility was right there. You know what I mean? So um priority, it's funny because like I already knew the Dug Down. I already knew Evil D. I knew Five Left T. Like I already knew boot camp and shit, but I didn't. But I got through priority because I was straight was cold calling. I was open. I was cold calling the labels, bro. I would call the fucking record labels, not even knowing what I was gonna say if somebody answered the phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm just calling like a fucking rapper's gonna answer the phone or something like. But anyway, I'm dialing numbers and I called. I can't remember the label, but it wasn't priority at first. It was another label. You know what I mean? I'm fucking 16 years old. You know what I
EMI?
mean? What?
EMI?
No. No. It might come to me, but whatever. That's irrelevant to the story. But
Right.
I called and then I met my man BC, my man Brian C, who was at Nervous. And Brian and BC took a liking to me. So I would kick it with BC all the time and like be the intern, flyers, stickers, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it just led to another thing, another thing. So I was interning with my man BC. And then from there, he knew someone over there. And then I linked up with my man James Azor, my man Mark Richardson. And then I started doing the street team shit at Priority Records. And then it just worked out even more because at that time, motherfucking Duck Down just linked up with Priority Records. So that was just like, oh, okay. So now they share in the same office. So now fucking, rocking there, like now Bootcamp is in there. So they was kind of like, oh shit, like that's fire. So yeah, but because it was
And
30,
you knew
30.
all of them already at that time?
I was aware of all of them. I wasn't as close with all of them at the time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I already knew Five. I already knew Five T from Black Moon. I knew Five already. I knew Evil D already. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had met Buck, but they was all a few years older though. But I had all. But I'm from Brooklyn though, so I was acquainted, but I didn't, we wasn't super fam at the time yet. They
Right,
was
right.
already, they was ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? They was ahead of me. You know what I mean? I was looking up to them niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's how I got a priority, man. Just running around doing all that street team shit. And we worked a lot of records, man. We all that no limit shit. With all that I'm about it shit, we was on that. You know what I'm saying?
Ice
I
Cube
ended up.
Records?
It was a little bit after that time. It was after that era.
Okay.
Like it was. Ice Cube was already like making movies and shit.
Mm,
Like that was the early '90s. Like I wasn't doing nothing back then. It was like more like a few years after that.
got you.
But that at that time I was I was in school. I was young. I was, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it wasn't Ice Cube era. It was like it was like the yeah, when Fab Five was coming out, you know what I'm saying? The fucking was the Floor Flyer, Scope Sky, all of that. And then I actually ended up going with James Azor and them. I ended up going to Refugee All Stars, Wyclef Fugees, Wyclef Lauren, of course, Prize. I did a lot of this. I did a lot of that promo work for that too. You know what I mean? So I did a lot of that shit, man. Coming up, like it was like I was a kid coming up. I just wanted to be involved. I just wanted to be involved in hip hop. Like I just wanted to do whatever it took. And that's before I even realized, I was rapping, but I was a kid. I was young. I wasn't like, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper. But like I just know I wanted to be involved in hip hop in some form. You know what I mean? And yeah, and I've been involved in a heavy fashion in this game for most of my fucking life, man. It's kind of crazy, man. Like my man, there's a photographer, there's a well esteemed hip hop photographer. I mean T. Eric, named Eric. I think his name is Eric Monroe, but he goes by T. Eric, and he's you can look him up. He's on socials and everything, and he's done so many classic photos. Like he did a lot of Fuji stuff as well, like a lot of album covers and shit like that. He has so many photos from that era, from that classic '90s, mid '90s era. So funny. I link up with him something totally separate from the music shit. I link up with him, and he's telling me, he's like, "Yo," and keep in mind, like I knew who he was, but we weren't colleagues and that. But I knew who he was. I know his name, and he's like a legend doing what he does. And we're like rolling out. We go to Jersey, whatever. And he's like, "Yo," and he's like, "Yo, yo, I'm proud of you. I seen you a long time ago, man." He's like, "Yo, my son watches the battles that you throw," and I'm like, "Yo, I seen that motherfucker when he was a kid. I know what he was doing. I know that motherfucker when he was a kid." I'm like, "Yo, you know me from when I was a kid." He was like, "Yeah." So I'm gonna show you something. I seen you, and he sends me a fucking picture to my IG. He sends me a picture of me standing outside of fucking Beach Street Records on Fulton Street, downtown Fulton Street. This motherfucker got a picture of me standing outside Beach Street Records when Wyclef was doing the fucking the signing for what's the album with Going to November and all that shit. Going, the album, the I can't remember the name. Carnival. It's Carnival. And I was outside doing street team shit. This motherfucker got a picture of me that I didn't even know. And this is like decades later, like, "Yo, you been doing this a long time." And he sent me the picture. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy, bro." Like, but yeah, bro, I used to I was cold calling labels, man. Like, and I knew a lot of people that was in the game too. Like my pops had a studio, so I knew a lot of guys that. So like, I always had like a small in. You know what I'm saying? Like my pops he was doing a lot of video. My pops did a few videos back in the day. Like my pops is in SWV video back when they was popping. And they had a song called
Weak?
"I'm So Into You."
Oh.
They got "I'm so into you, don't know what I'm gonna do." So it's morning, and my pops is in the fucking video playing. With one of them
Oh
fucking goofy ass
shit.
'90s hats on, one of them Busta Rhymes weird hats and shit. Like nigga on the keys, like that's my pops and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like there was always some sort of connection to shit. Like I was always able to maneuver because, what I mean, there was always somebody around that had it in. So I just anytime I got close to something, I always made sure that I took it over. Like if I got my foot in the door, like it's it. It's my shit now. Like I always did. I'm a big guy. I take up a lot of space. You feel me? So
Wait, so were you at Priority when Roc-A-Fella was there doing Reasonable Doubt?
yeah, yeah. Oh, but
Dang, that's
they were on John Street. They weren't in the same office. We was on 32 West 18th, and
uh
they had their own office down by Wall Street. But yeah, but
that's
Rockefeller,
crazy.
they had their own they operated on their own, like it was a part of Priority, but they were their own entity. They weren't like dealing with the people in the office with us that much.
Right, right.
But I was around, yeah, hell yeah, I was around for all of that shit. I was like I said, I was a young fly in the wall. I seen mad shit, bro.
That's
Yeah,
dope, man. What do you think
yeah.
that working street team at such a young age was able to do for you as an independent artist as far as teaching you about self-promotion or working records and things like that?
Yeah, it showed me a lot. It fucking showed me that I didn't want to be on that side of the game. That's really what it showed me. I saw it was all smoke and mirrors, and I'm like, it was all about making everything look more grandiose, more bigger than what it was. But then in reality, like I'll give you a perfect example. I remember one time Fuji's had like a big ass. It was Wyclef. It was whatever Fuji related, referee related. They had a big ass event at the Palladium and shit. Now I'm like I said, I'm fucking young, bro. Like I'm not even, you know what I mean? Legal drinking is nothing. Like we still teenagers and shit. And so I'm running around, street teaming, doing all the low level flyers, whatever. Yo, let me go. I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna go to the bar, bring the bottles, stool. I don't care. I'm doing grunt work. I wasn't supposed to be in the club any fucking way. But I'm doing all this work and shit like that, getting a little bread here and there. But I wasn't. And I remember one night, I'm in the club with these motherfuckers partying. I'm fucking with bitches and all that, feeling like feeling like him. You know what I'm saying? But then, drinking. I'm not even old enough to drink. We drinking. So many shorties around. We in the VIP. These niggas is lit. I'm just there with them. But at the same time, I'm feeling it too. And then now when it's time to go, like, I ain't even got train fare. And I'm like, yo, this is trash. So like I'm about to leave and I'm like, damn, I gotta go home. And then one of the guys was like, yo, nah, so they get in one of the cars. So I got in one of the fucking limos, and one of the limos drove me back to Nostrand Ave. You feel me?
Oh
So
shit.
I'm in the motherfucking limo. I'm sitting in the fucking limo, riding through a hood, you know what I'm saying? And I fucking parked on Nostrand and shit in the fucking limo and shit with no money in my pocket. I was like, oh, nah, this shit trash. It's like, right, I'm in a limo and I ain't got no money. You know what I mean? So I saw the smoke and mirror aspect to it, but I wasn't an artist at the time, so it may be a little different. You know what I mean? When I wasn't active as an artist, I was still trying to figure it out. So, but it definitely showed me like it's first of all, it showed me how to just get to it because I was always taught to like when I did my music. I never understood the concept of shopping demos and shit like that. It's like, yo, fam, just like how I called the record labels and all that and got in the door and just ended up being in the loop. It's like, yo, my nigga, I realized that me living in New York, I have access to a lot of shit. So it's like, yo, son, if I'm out here doing all these shows, if I'm out here in the street and everybody's telling me my shit is lit, why do I need to go to a label for you to seek your approval? I
Mm.
already got the fucking test, the target audience right here that's telling me what they like. So fuck I need y'all for? I'm going to the studio, I'm recording my shit. At the time I'm going to Harlem. Go check my Asian homegirl and shit. She gonna press up my CDs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna hit the people up. What the fuck I need to go to a label for to see if you approve of me doing what the fuck I do? Like, I don't get that. So just I always just went and did shit myself. Like, if I want y'all ain't booking shows, I'm gonna throw shows. Like so, but being here in New York, I had the accessibility to do that. but I also had the acumen to realize that waiting for niggas ain't gonna get you shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like why and I don't need to seek nobody's approval if I already see what it is. I already see this, I'm rocking with it. So it's like I just go out and do it. I'll just go and do it. I just go do it. And it taught me that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what like I don't need to like cause to me a record label is like me going to you for permission to do what the fuck I was gonna do anyway.
Right, right.
And I'm not the person that asks for permission for a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I need you? So, being in the loop and doing all of that showed me that how I could just acquire this shit and put in my own legwork and amass what I have to amass that way. You know what I mean?
How was the Fugees, like your interactions with them? Were they like down to earth? They cool?
Um, I fucks with Clef. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's interesting characters, but like I said, I was low on the totem pole. Me and Clef got a lot cooler later. But nah, fucking with them was cool. Laura always was kind of like a little standoffish. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So I didn't really rock with her like that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. But she didn't make herself accessible like that. You know what I'm saying? But Clef and Prize was wild cool. You know what I'm saying? When we was out and about, they always made sure we was good. You know what I mean? RP John Forte. You know what I mean? Forte,
yeah,
that's my
shout out to
my,
John
my
Forte,
Brownsville
man.
hitter. Forte was around with them too, because Forte was heavy with them. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I used to be in the stool with Forte every so often. You know what I mean? He was with shout to my bro Kenyatta Black and all that. You know what I mean? So Rose family and all that, you know. But yeah, so they would always be around, man. So I like like Clef and them was cool. Like, Lauren was always, she was always a little, standoffish. And I was like I said, I was young ball, so I wasn't inner circle by any means. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I wasn't inner circle by any stretch of the term. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah.